So hi everyone, today we're going to be covering the whole portfolio of milling machines from Deprag. It's a Chinese manufacturer, but before we get deep into it, please like, subscribe, do something with this video. So Deprag has a pretty straightforward portfolio, which I really like, and they divide it into two categories. Let's divide them in two here. The top part is for what we call soft materials. So anything like zirconia, PMMA, glass ceramics, wax, and hybrid ceramics. And the ones on the bottom here, they are the more metal focused mills. I'm gonna do a quick review on all the options here. We see 6 options, and then after I do a quick review, I'm gonna talk a little bit more specifically about each mill. So they start with the W4. It is a 4-axis wet only mill focused on blocks, right? So anything that is block shaped, glass ceramics, Emax, PMMA, anything that is block is done on this mill. Then they have the D5 Air Free, which is a really nice addition. It's a recent addition to their portfolio. Basically what this is, it's a 5-axis dry only compressor-free mill. It's really good for those who are looking to put it into a clinic, for example, or the ones that are tight on space and cannot add a compressor. Then they have the disc changer, which is the D5 Max. This is a dry only 5-axis with an automated disc changer to it. Now, when we go to the bottom part here, we have those two mills, the W5 and the W5 Pro, which if we look at them, they look kind of like the same. So they are 5-axis hybrid metal focused. What is the main difference between them? We're going to talk a little bit more when we go specifically, but just so you guys have in mind, the W5 is focused on milling titanium, and the W5 Pro, it's for titanium and chrome cobalt. And to finish it all off, they have the W5 Max, which is pretty much the W5 with a disc changer to it, so you can have more automation. Now let's deep dive into each mill so you guys have an idea, a better understanding of what each one looks like. So now if we look closer to the W4, like I said in the beginning, it's a 4-axis focused on block milling. A couple really cool technical specs of it. It has 12 tools. So usually when you're milling glass ceramics, you're going to use 3 tools. So what it means here, you have up to 4 sets of tools that you can have it installed at the same time when you're milling. The biggest differentiator of this mill is this guy here. It's a 20 blocks holder for glass ceramics. What that means is that you can do that big case from premolar to premolar, upper and lower veneers all at once. You can program it all at once and leave it milling without having to manually change the mill. Let me show you guys here what this holder looks like. So as you can see here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have 4 sides that this can mill. So this means you can put 20 of those blocks to mill. Well, of course, not at the same time, but sequentially without having anyone interfering, doing anything manual to it. So now to some final details on this mill. The spindle, it's a really heavy duty spindle of 2.5 kilowatts, up to 6,000 RPM. It has a 6mm collet, which is really good. It gives more stability. So overall, it's a really robust mill, but focused on 4-axis milling, block milling. Now let's talk about the D5 Air Free, which is the 5-axis dry only compressor free mill. Like I said, 5-axis, so you can do from single units to full arches. It has up to 10 tools. So the most you're going to use realistically is going to be 5 tools per case. So that means you can put 2 sets of tools at the tool holder at the same time. It does not need air compressor, and I think that's the big thing about this mill. It means that if you're a clinic or if you're tight on space as a lab, this would fit you perfectly. It's a non-disc changer, so meaning you have one holder. It's a 98mm C-clamp, meaning that you have the possibility of milling 90 degrees, and you have at the same time 6 blocks, a different holder where you can put 6 blocks for dry processing only. So if we look into more technical specs, you're going to see it's not a heavy duty mill. Why? Because it's made for dry processing, zirconia, PMMA, wax mainly. So it's a 800-watt spindle, 6,000 RPM, and it has the 4mm chuck. So remember, we have 3, 4, and 6. This is in the mid-ground, which for dry processing, it's more than enough. Now, when we talk about the D5 Max, it's pretty much the D5 with a disc changer to it. So you have 5-axis, dry only, it has 10 tools to it, so you can still put the same amount of tools. And you have a disc changer of 8 holders, meaning you can have 8 C-clamps there. You can put different shades, different sizes, different heights, and even different materials, and it all loads automatically. So if we look at the mill here, basically you have the D5 here, and what makes it max, which is the disc changer, is this side here. This is a really great mill for those who need either high production, and when I say high production, it's anything above 400 crowns in one mill, or those who don't have a lot of staff to be working on the mill and constantly changing the holder manually. This would be a great solution for dry only zirconia, PMMA, wax, PEEK, and maybe some hybrid ceramics. So if we look into the technical specs of the D5 Max, we're going to see that it's a little bit more of a heavy duty mill. Why? Because it's focused on high production. So it means that it has to be running nonstop for 24, 48, sometimes even 72 hours. So what we're going to see here, it's a more powerful spindle of 1.8 kilowatts, which is more than double the previous D5. And what we're going to see here is the water cooling. What this is basically a cooling system that is attached next to the mill that keeps the temperature of the spindle low enough so you can run it for a really long time. So this here is the W5, is the first one of the really heavy duty mills, which is focused on titanium. And what we're going to see here is a couple different things. So it's still a 5-axis, right? Pretty straightforward. You're going to see 18 by 2 tools. First of all, why 18? Because when you're milling metal, you need way more options of tools. And the by 2 here is that basically you have 2 sets of 18 tools that you can change one to another. So let's say you have one set for metal only, and you have another set for zirconia and PMMA. You can have one out of the mill, one inside of the mill, and when you change materials, you can simply swap them. It is a 1 disc only. This is not a disc changer one. You have 2 options of holders. Well, actually 3. You can have the C-clamp for discs. You can have 3 pre-milled blanks, so those with the implant connection already on it, or you have a holder for 6 glass ceramics blocks, for 6 Emax blocks, for example. So as I mentioned here, we're gonna start to see a really more heavy-duty approach to the mill. So spindle power, this is a 2.5 kilowatts. You're only gonna see that kind of spindle on mills that are focused on milling metal. It has a 6mm collet, which is the size, the thickness of the burr to give more stability. And again, this is a water-cooled spindle. It has the spindle chiller to keep the temperature low. And just the last thing that I want you guys to pay attention on is what makes this mill different from the next one, which is focused on also milling chrome cobalt, is this guy here, the basic construction. This is the frame of the mill itself. On this mill, the W5, it's made of aluminum. On the other one, it's going to be made of iron. Basically, what that means is the rigidity, the stability that you have throughout the milling process. And to finish it off, we're going to cover the W5 Max or the W5 Pro. And the main difference between those two is that the W5 Pro is this one without a disc changer, and the W5 Max has the disc changer attached to it. So they're both 5+1 axis. What does that mean? 5 axis is the standard, and the +1 is usually when you're talking about pre-milled abutments. But overall, in terms of capabilities, it's still the same. It does full arches, single units, bars, whatever you need. They both have 18 tools to it. Like I said, you need more tools when you're doing metal because you need more options. You can put on the Max, the one that has the disc changer, up to 8 discs. You're gonna see here 40 pre-milled blanks. Why 40? Because you have 8 times 5. So you can put 8 holders of 5 pre-milled abutments each, which totals 40 abutments, or 48 blocks, 48 glass ceramics blocks. The idea is the same. Each holder has 6, so 6 times 8, 48 blocks total. So looking at the technical specs here, again, it's a really heavy duty mill, 2.5 kilowatt spindle, 6mm collet, water cooled with the spindle chiller, so it keeps the temperature low. And like I said, the basic construction is iron, which makes it a much heavier and much more stable mill than any other option previously. If you still have any questions, access our website. You're going to have a comparison tool with all the information you need about any type of equipment.